Kickers were the key on a windy, drizzly day one of the Walmart FLW Tour on Sam Rayburn. If you didn't have one of these 6 to 8 pound brutes in the bag, chances are you were left hanging with 12 pounds or less. Getting beyond the 16-pound mark required a big bass or two. Exactly how the bigger bass were caught varied from angler to angler. Rick, nobody seems more surprised than you yourself. Is this what you expected, or is this a surprise based on your practice?
This was a total surprise based on my practice. I caught a lot of fish in practice. Best day was 16 pounds. I wasn't catching these fish. They just randomly moved in.
Can you give us some indication of kind of what I'm looking for right now? Are you covering a lot of bank, fishing fast, or are you grinding in one area? I mean, are you fishing slow?
I'm grinding in one area.
Okay. Is it in like all day in one area, or you have several different areas you're rotating in?
I had several different areas, but I didn't run to them today because of the weather. Stayed in one and it paid off.
Staying in the one place, was that based on camping on it and kind of guarding it off a little bit?
Pretty much.
You got company around?
5 or 6 boats ran in there on me today.
Did you catch them early, or was it an all-day deal?
It was pretty much an all-day deal.
At what point did you get to 25 pounds?
About 30 minutes before weigh-in.
Did you keep it to the floor all day, or at one? I mean, at any point did you say, I feel pretty good with 20 or 21, I need to lay off, or did you just keep fishing?
I just kept fishing because they're just, they're not holding to anything, so who knows if I'll catch them tomorrow.
When you say they're not holding to anything, what do you mean by that?
They're holding on a grass line. Now, that's about it. They're not holding on any hard structure.
How big is the area in general? I mean, are we talking like one cast that you made all day, or several acres, or 100-yard stretch?
A couple of acres.
Couple acres in size?
Yeah.
Andy, you had me a nice little theme going of Lake Sam Rayburn, slow dragging, slowing down, catching bass, and you had to show up and kind of shatter everything. Even your buddy Brian Thrift, who's a burner and turner, says he had to slow it down today. And but you've kind of violated all those rules, and you're covering a lot of water on the bank.
Yeah, I covered a lot of territory. Conditions today, you think they'd just smoke moving baits, but it was, as far as getting bites, it was pretty hard out there. I only caught 7 or 8 fish, and, I was just real fortunate to run into to a couple good ones. I mean, I think I understand how the bigger ones are setting up. You just don't get a lot of bites. So, I had 4 fish at 2:30, and I just kept staying with it, and, luckily, I caught a couple more big ones there at the end of the day.
The big ones, did they come back to back? Were they wadded up in any way, or scattered?
A couple of them was in the same area. Yeah. I mean, it's the same type of places. I really, after today, I think I got 2 places that I'm going to spend most of my time. I mean, that's where the biggest fish is. I hung in practice. I hung. It was the biggest fish I've ever had on. The biggest fish I've ever seen in my boat, and I've seen 10-pounders. I mean, it was ungodly. You don't know what it weighed, but as far as length and mouth size and all, it was unreal. And I caught some of them big ones today in the exact same place. So I know there's a lot of big ones right in that area.
You said 2 places and not pattern. I'm interested. Is it more of a place thing, or is it more of a pattern thing?
No, it's a pattern. But see, I didn't practice but like a day. So, I drove from the last elite tournament, and I got on the water the second day of practice at like 2 o'clock, and then practiced the last day of practice. So, I didn't get to look around a lot, and that's all I got. I'm sure I could run the pattern and find new water, but these areas are really big. It's not like, it takes me a long time to fish them. So, even moving around pretty fast, it still takes a while to fish them like you need to. So, it's good. It's good at the end of the day. I know I'm around the big ones, just getting them to bite.
Mark, pretty awesome day for you. Tell me, did you think you could catch this based on your practice?
No, I probably didn't think I could catch them that good. I needed some wind, and I needed some clouds to actually catch them. That's normally not what I like, fishing offshore. But I'm not really, fishing offshore here. I'm fishing more of drains and points on drains and things like that. And I've got to have a certain type of point. And if it's got something, a drain or something next to it, then seems like I've been able to catch them. And so, I think they're fish that are just staging. I think they're staging coming off the beds, and I think that they're staging going in. And I'm getting a few bites. It's just getting those good quality ones. I'm actually catching a lot of spotted bass. I'd like for that to happen next couple weeks and not here. I've caught some spots that I would like to have at Beaver Lake, though, I tell you that. But I just got real blessed to get 2 really good bites today. I thought I was on about a 15, 16-pound deal.
How many places are you rotating?
Probably 5 or 6. I start on one, and it just takes me forever to get a bite, and I finally get a bite, and I'll catch one there, and then after I do that, I'll just start rotating around, and it's always one fish here, one fish there. I can't ever just really drill them on one spot. And that's typical staging. They're especially pre-spawn. I can't find like a gut where there are a bunch of big ones loaded. Yeah, it's just there's always one on a little spot.
All right, Brian, I thought I was working on a little theme of the slow fishermen are going to do good here today, but then you kind of showed up and threw that theory right out the window. I know how fast you like to fish. I'm just assuming covering a lot of water.
You are dead wrong.
Wow, okay, please tell me about it.
Yeah, this was very frustrating. I was on a moving bait bite in practice. I mean, it wasn't that good, but I thought that was what I was going to have to do to have a chance to catch some 3-pounders, and catch a decent bag of fish. But I never got a bite today on a moving bait. I caught everything dragging today, so I don't know. It's very frustrating. I started on a place that I thought I could catch 2 or 3 early, and never got a bite anywhere. So I finally just started dragging plastic around. Ended up catching 5. I don't think I had but like 7 bites all day. It was just, Lord really blessed me today. I mean, I was fortunate enough to get 3 good bites and then have 2 more in the 2.5 to 3 pound range. So
You say I had to drag plastics as if it's a sin.
yeah, it's the most boring way to fish. Like every cast, you can ask my co-angler, I'm just saying, man, this is stupid. This is stupid. What am I doing? This is stupid. And then I'd go like an hour and I'd catch one. And then I'd go back to fussing. Oh, this is stupid. Every cast. Just throw it out there. I'm like, why is this working? This is stupid. And then you catch another one.
You think you can stand to do that again tomorrow?
I don't know. I doubt it, because if the wind, the main reason I did it today was because the lake was so rough and I couldn't run around like I like to. But I'm probably going to kick myself in the butt tomorrow. If it does lay down, I'm going to run all over the place. Probably won't catch anything, but, we'll see how it goes.
Sounds good, Brian. Thank you. Pete, already in the standings, we're seeing some guys slow fishing. Slow. This place, Rayburn, always seems, even in the springtime when you think fast, and cover water, even Brian Thrift is, talking about fishing slow, everybody. And I know you're one of the best at fishing slow. Why does it match this lake?
I really don't know, other than, that's what I always do, so I don't want to say it matches this lake, but I've always done well here in the past, either throwing a Carolina rig or a Texas rig worm or something like that. Mostly Carolina rigging, and that generally fits. But this week, the lake has not been that way for me. I mean, the fish are positioned. Fish have been moving every day, it seems like. When we first got here the first day of practice, there was a lot of fish up spawning, a lot of fish really shallow, and they kind of stayed that way for 2 days. But on the last day of practice, I noticed they started kind of vacating those spawning areas and moving back out. And I really think the bigger fish have kind of moved off the bank some. And years ago, I remember that several times on this lake when we've had warm water temperatures and fish spawning, and then we have these little cold fronts that come through and the water temperature drops, that the fish really have a tendency to suspend over the grass beds. And it's really kind of a neat thing. David Wharton, many years ago, won a tournament here on a shad wrap after a cold front had come through, catching fish suspended over the tops of grass. And, it was a really tough tournament, and he ended up winning it on a shad wrap. So I started early this morning shallow, and I caught probably my best fish shallow. And then that bite quit by 9 o'clock. I mean, there was nothing to catch on the banks but little fish from what I could see. So I just kind of gradually eased my way out. Picked up a Carolina rig and caught a couple of little fish and wasn't satisfied that I was going to catch anything good that way. So I started slow swimming baits out over the top of that grass, and I caught another 4.5 or so 5-pounder. My partner caught a 5-pounder in those same areas. So the fish are in the same places that they were, but they've just moved out over that grass and they're on those deeper edges. They're not real aggressive. They don't really want to chase anything down, and a real slow presentation, even with a moving bait, seems to be working very well.